G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated Podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying the show, feel free to like, subscribe, give us a great rating and share it around with your mates. And you can follow me on Instagram at elliot.t.waters and you can also follow the show at the Dysregulated.podcast. Well, today's episode, it's one of those sort of bridging intermediate episodes. So the problem is at the moment, I'm feeling super flat again, real flat. So everything's boring, everything's a chore, the music I listen to is boring and lifeless, and everything's just flat. Now, don't be too concerned. When I say flat, that doesn't necessarily mean depressed. I wouldn't call the last few days or last week and a half, I wouldn't say I'm in a depressive episode. We're just so flat. We just can't get going. Now, I've got all these great episode ideas that I really want to punch out, but the problem is when I'm feeling flat, that is the opposite of what I want to do. There is no inspiration. I'm waiting for inspiration to strike, and until that happens, you're going to have to put up with a flat, lifeless episode like this one. It's really annoying though, because, it's just, I can feel that there's inspiration there, there's impetus, the things we're looking for, it's within reach, but we just can't reach out and grab it. And it's so frustrating. But, that's mental illnesses. You got the ups, you got the downs, then you got the flat periods in between. And like I said, we're not depressed. Don't worry, we are not depressed. Just so flat. So anyway, what else has been happening recently? Not too much. There's not heaps really to report on, I don't think. Or at least if there is, it's not coming to mind, so it can't be that important. But anyways, medications are locked in, like I said. I haven't been to the psychologist enough. I'll admit I haven't, because there's been a few clashes in my terribly kept calendar. Everything clashes because I don't remember that I've put things in there and that I should be doing this when I've booked in for that. So me seeing a psychologist has been a bit fractured, I would say, and I'm suffering as a result. Now, my habit building, remember the habits that I was trying to do, all or nothing? There was like 10 of them, and I was going to do all of them or none of them. And what's happened is we've done some of them. So that's the good news, but there's no two ways about it. You look over the last month and you look at a chart of my mood and a chart of my habit completions, you will see a strong correlation, probably association, maybe even causation, that when I'm dropping off, it drops off too. Now, the question is, which is the one that's dropping off first? Is it the habits dropping off first, or is it the mood? Which one's, egg before the chicken sort of thing? Which one comes first? That I cannot answer at the moment, but it is very interesting that they both tail off together. So, as part of me trying to intervene into my own psyche here, we need to figure out, like I said, what is coming first, or what the warning signs maybe are that we're starting to flatten off, so we can get in there and do something about it. Whether that's, go on a road trip or something, clear the head, or if it's to do some exercise in the sun, get some vitamin D as well. If it's to be social and see some friends I haven't seen in a while, I don't know. But these are the things that you've got to consider to avoid falling into these flat moods, because what has happened this time, which has happened so many times before, it's almost taken me by surprise, and we're up to day 4 or 5 of this flat mood. It's like, hang on, what's going on? We're not doing what you usually do. I'm feeling so flat. It's like, yeah, you're 4 or 5 days late though, and that's the thing. Once you're in day 4 or 5, it's too late. You just got to hold on, ride it out, and, have the confidence, because we've been through this many times before. We know that give it 2.5 weeks, we should be back out again. But what we really got to do is figure out how to get in early to put the brakes on these flat moods and keep our trajectory pointing upwards. That's the key. And I think, at least to begin with, I need to work on the awareness around these sorts of things and really hone in on what those early warning signs are. So as soon as they're there, bang, we do something about it, we intervene, and we avoid the flat mood. Anyway, that's all I think for this episode. I think that's all I wanted to get out. Like I said, there's a lot of inspiration just waiting to take off. Like, for those that are on the Dysregulated Podcast Instagram page, which I recommend everybody to follow, you may remember I did a story which showed this episode I've been writing out for ADHD. It was huge. It was a great example, this was like a week ago, of me being in a hyper-focused state. So my ADHD was hyper-focused on ADHD. And we've done 3/4 or 2/3 probably a full episode on ADHD. And this thing, let me tell you, it goes through everything. The neuroscience, neurobiology behind it, the chemicals, the neurotransmitters. It goes into psychology. There's plenty of psychiatry. There's just heaps in this episode. And I can't wait to get it out there. But as I said, I've only done 2/3 of it. I'm waiting for that hyper-focus, that state to come around again. Because once we lock in, it'll be very quick and we'll finish it off and we'll get it out there. But I'm just waiting for the hyper-focus, the inspiration to hit. I'm just, hopefully soon. Anyway, that'll do for now. Thank you for listening. Just a little check-in to see how things are going. As I said, flat doesn't mean depressed. Flat is frustrating. Depressed is sad. This is just really frustrating. So nothing to worry about. We'll just give it a few more days and we should shoot out of it. And then watch out. That's all I'm going to say. Watch out. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. And yeah, I'll see you next time here on the Dysregulated Podcast.